so. Although I have driven to work and not had a contact.
It looks so fancy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I threw my little thing up there.
All right. So the point of inversions is to turn ourselves upside down. In doing so, physiologically, you're mostly allowing your inner organs to relieve the weight of gravity, because everything's pulling all your inner organs in one direction, and all living tissue needs fluids to be released and then new fluids to return. And so when we're always in one place, it's like if you had a sponge and it was full of water and it was resting, the water would kind of pool in the bottom. Instead of what a sponge is made to do is rinse out and take in clean water and pick up dirty water and rinse it out. All your inner organs are spongy, and when you turn upside down, there's a relief. They drop out of the pelvic bowl a little bit, and there's this vitality, this change of perspective, because all of your microbiome has an opportunity to shift. When we turn ourselves upside down, we're not looking to stay the same. Like, hey, I can do a great job in the kitchen. I can do a great job at my job. We have a quality of approach. When we turn upside down, we want to kind of let that perspective change. What does this with an inquiry? And so as you come into each posture, as we get ready to turn upside down, let it be an inquiry instead of, I will step to a lunge. It's like, what happens when I lunge? And when I turn upside down, what happens when I turn upside down? And allowing this shift in perspective to really begin to make a quality of mind that says, I'm listening rather than I'm acting. Acting is lower, listening is higher, and we're shifting up. So we'll set everything aside and we'll start out on the back. The two major aspects of strength to turn upside down and hold ourselves safely are steadiness through the abdomen and open through the shoulders. So that's where we're headed. And we'll start out on the back. And just draw your knees into your chest, let your hips move side to side. 2 blocks and a strap will be useful. Shake out your feet, holding the backs of your thighs from the outside of your thighs. You'll just press your right leg straight and then bring it back in, and press your left leg straight and bring it back in. And as you press one leg, flex the foot and draw the toes back. And just start to stand in your feet. And as you press your heel, as though you were trying to close a drawer from lying on the floor, as you do, let that anchor your navel into your body. So that we're widening through the low back. We're lengthening along from the heel to the tips of your toes. Let your knees go wider. And you can stay here supporting your legs with your hands, or lift your head, shoulders, and reach in between. And press one heel and press the other. And on the exhale, navel to spine. I'm just going to go for 3 more each side. See if you can feel the back widen into the floor. Even reaching your hands a little higher, you'll feel the back of your pelvis flexing the feet. Good. And then hands to the outsides of your knees. Bring them together. Bring your nose to your knees. Right leg straight, right hand overhead, head and shoulders to the floor. And bring your hand to your shin, left hand overhead, left leg long. So inhale to open and exhale to close. And just find a little bit of a steady rhythm. Can you keep that wide back, that base in the floor? And then find the front of that base by bringing the navel back into the floor. So that's your point of stability that makes the legs effortless, that makes the movement anchored and easy. Good. You can keep it right there, or do lift of the head, shoulders, 2 hands, 2 legs. You're just opening and closing, but you're keeping the anchor of the wide low back, the navel to the spine, and you're making it effortless by moving right from the center. Right, for 3. Good. And for 2. Good. And as you open out long, hands overhead, widen your heels to the width of your mat. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle, and your left hand holds your right. Turn your chin to the right armpit. And hug your ankles together and straighten your arms like you're waking up. Roll your right ribs to the floor and open the right side of your abdomen and your waist. Uncross your ankles, heels wide, release your hands, pause, shake out your feet, notice right and left. Cross your left ankle over the right, left hand is held by the right. And take your hands to the right, turn your chin to the left. So you're bowing into the left side and wrap your ribs down. Hug your ankles together, hug your shins together. And let your breath come into the left side ribs, left side lung, widening through the base. And back into the center, hold your shins. Bring your nose to your knee. So that you can roll all the way up and over, putting the blanket underneath your knees and your shins. Your blocks and your strap go up at the top. And so we'll use the beginning part of this practice, flying cat-cow, to open through your physical body. The asana is a preparation. Turn ourselves upside down, clear our minds, free our gut and our viscera, and then we'll light up that midpoint, that brain space right in the middle of your head. So we'll have a little Kundalini Kriya at the end, and then a meditation. And once we've turned upside down and opened into a sense of just listening, just asking, you might find new perspectives, new ideas. For 3. And for 2. Good. And then knees wide, toes together, fold back. Wagging your tail, settling all the way in. Fingertips are long. Notice, where is it caught? Where does it need lengthening? Can you find the full flat of your hand on the floor? Can you find your elbows on the floor? Can you reach your hips back to your heels? Can you wag your tail a little side to side? Broadening through the front of your chest by drawing your upper arms a little further apart. Good. Rising up is inhale, tuck of the toes, down dog is exhale. And just start to move through those hands and knees to child's pose, breathing out. Rising up, broaden the chest, tuck your toes. Keep your heels high, keep your hips high. So that in your downward facing dog, there's a little bit of a back bend. A little bit of a reach, like you're coming onto your tiptoes, and then in your child's pose, really tucking your chin into your chest, finding the rounding in child and the arching in your dog. For one more round. Good. And we'll meet on hands and knees, pause there. Feel the spine be long, as though you were seated on the wall behind you. The crown of your head is reaching towards the wall in front of you. Your left hand comes right under your face, and your right hand reaches back. Draw your fingertips back, your thumb points down. So my hips are square, my shoulders are square. Take your right hand up overhead, spin your palm to see the front. Open the chest. A little wag of the tail, a little forward and back, a little circle in your seat. So look up and let the circle in your seat start to bring your right shoulder over your left. Look up. Now right hand to the left, hips back, fold. Yeah, creaky stuff. Rise hands, knees, reach your right hand back, roll your chest open and bring your right hand to your left, fold back, square off. Rise up, hips square, reach, roll, open, and fold. So it's as though the whole right side body is getting longer than the left. And let it keep going until it can quicken, until you get a little bit unstuck. Ha! For 3. For 2, across the collarbones, out through the fingers. And then 1 more. Walk your left hand left, walk your right hand on top of the left, and drop your right hip. Stay for 3. Your breath is full into the right side shoulder, right side rib. Keep dropping your right hip down. All the length you're making right there. And come into center and find your down dog just to notice right hand, right hip, right heel. Alive and awake and clear. Wag the tail. Keep the left knee bent. Reach the right heel back. Turn your right heel in, turn your right toes out. Step your left foot forward a half step and keep it bent, heel high. Now circle your right hip. And so the space you made in your right shoulder right now and through the right ribs, take it all the way back into your right hip, into your right heel. All the way from your hands to your right foot. Good. And as you pause, right hip high. Explore into the outer edge of your right hip. They sway just so slightly side to side. Explore all the way into the foot. Hands, knees. Right hand underneath your face. Left hand reaches back. And take your left thumb to point the floor. So hip square, shoulders square. Left hand rising. Turn your palm to the front. Now little that circle of the hips. Ha. And when I begin, it's as though there is no way that I can move anywhere. Explore. Turn. And now take your left hand on top of your right. Fold down. Square the hips, square the shoulders. And rise up, left hand back. And begin to revolve. So feeling the inner lining of the left side lung, left side rib. Oh. And you're swinging the left side rib cage down toward the floor as you fold. And you're swinging open as you rise until as you get a little unstuck, there's some momentum. There's a little more pace. 3. And 2. Good, good, good. As you pause, left on right, land. Drop your left side ribs. Walk your right hand right. Put your left hand on top. Drop your left hip back. Open your left side lung. All the things that you've held in your left hand, you can let them go. Out of the shoulder, out of the ribs, out of the hip, micro movements, keep shifting as you need to. And when you return to down dog, lift your hips. Right knee stays bent, left hip high. Left heel back. Notice the line, hand to hip to heel. Turn your left heel in, the toe out. Right knee is soft. Now circle your left hip. And how absolutely reluctant it may feel when you start. And it's wonderful to encounter that reluctance because that's why we're here. Is we want to move the places that feel immobile. Everywhere that won't move in our body has an effect on our mind. on what's possible, on what's stuck. Walk your dog, drop your head. Step your right foot forward, put your left knee down, sweep your hands up high. And keeping your knee bent, drop your hands forward and back. And just loosen. You've made such space all through the sides of your body. Now call it into you, a little deeper into the lungs. One more. Hands down, step back, down dog. Left foot steps up, right knee down. So as the physical body opens, now we can let some movement through. We can fold and unfold through the joints. Good. Hands up high. And down. Step your right foot up. Sweep your hands wide. Sit your seat down. Turn your thumbs up. Stand up so tall. Look up. Bring your thumbs to your heart and pause, landing your heels. And just let your weight keep dropping down. Smooth your breathing. And so the outer body is a little more spacious. The inner body is a little more fluid. Keep that going. Hands up. And we'll just flow forward. Bend your knees. Left foot back, left knee down. Hands up high. Rising. And then folding. Finding your way. Down dog. In and out of your breath. Look forward, high plank. Downward facing dog. Right foot up, left knee down. And sweep up. Let it be sticky. Hands down. Stepping up. Sit down, reach wide, stand tall. Palms together, gather it in, let it go. Inhale up. Hands wide, knees bend, fold down. Right foot, right knee, hands high, bring it up. And down. Down dog. High plank, look forward, heels back. Down dog. Right foot up, left knee down. Hands up high. Open it all and fold down. Left foot steps. Sit down, hands wide, rise up. Palms together, land on your heels. Front and back are equal. Again, rise, look up. And fold. Left foot, left knee, hands high. Look up and fold down. Down dog. High plank. And dog. And left foot and right knee. Rise. And fold. Right foot. Hands wide. Stand tall. Down the middle. Let it go. Let it get quiet. And fold. Right foot, right knee. And rise. Follow your breathing right to your fingertips. And down. Down low. High plank. Down dog. Right foot. Left knee. Rise up. Fold. Step up. Sweep wide. Down the middle. Even more quiet. Again, hands up, look up. Fold. Left foot back, no knee to the floor. No knee, hands up. To the floor, keep your knee high. 3. Hands up. To the floor, knee stays high, lunging. 1 more, rise up. Good, straighten your front leg, reach up. Bend your front knee, bend your elbows. Widen the chest, now float, reach up. And down. Bring your left hip forward. Bring your navel to your spine. Only your knee bends. 3. And 2, square the left hip forward, look up. And fold down, step back down dog. Left hand, left hip, left heel, give it a breath. High plank. Down dog. Slowing down builds strength. Left foot steps up, right knee stays high. And the hands up high. Good, on the exhale, fold. Find your lunge, fingertips, inhale, rise. The legs stay, the breath moves your upper body. Inhale, fill the chest, down to the belly. Exhale, empty the belly, the ribs and the throat. One more, rise up and straighten your front leg. Bend your front knee, rise up. Open the right front hip, reach your right heel back. And reach from your feet to your hands and bring it down. Hands up high. Keep your hands, bend your front knee only. Stay, look up, lift your right thigh, lift your heart, lift your hands, lift your eyebrows. And hands down, step your right foot up. Ha! Fold. Drop your head, soften your knees, widen your seat. Walk your fingertips forward and widen your feet so that more than two fists could fit. Bending your knees so that your ribs can find your thighs. Fingertips walk forward and then walk to the right. So just as we did with those circles, feel the left hip. Send your left thigh back, bend your right knee more. Turn your navel towards the right. Can you move your left toes? And let the opening of your left foot open the left side hip, left side ribs, drop your head. And walk through center, bend your knees, wag your tail. So we don't get stuck, so there's always mobility. And then walk your hands to the left. And send your right thigh back and drop your head. Good, bend your left knee more, Lord. Yeah. And spin your navel towards your thigh. Yeah, drop your right ribs the way we did in child. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's where you're going, good. Good, walk to the center, reach your fingertips forward, take your tail back, sit down, 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 stand up. Go, 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 it's going to be a big change, stay. And now feel all the subtle body. Inside, rising up. Ha! Let it through you, let it through you, let it through you, let it through you. Good. Sweep wide, hold down. Down dog, step it back. Right down. So is it a little clearer in your breathing? Drop your head more. Down dog is an inversion. Feel light landing in your head. Feel space in the abdomen. Feel the inner organs tipping out of the pelvis and up towards the heart. Turn your head. Good. Step your right foot up. Turn your left heel down. And take your block outside your little toe. Good. And stay facing this way. You won't be long. Through your warrior two, standing up. And because we tend to start by reaching too far forward, straighten up. And now use that to land in your left heel. And as you open back up, reach into your left hand. And the front body now is very light. The front foot is very light. Drop your left hand and keep floating up and back. A little wriggle through the hips. A little wriggle through the ribs. A little wriggle through the jaw. Now bend your right knee more and more. And like a springboard, press into it and rise backwards. Straighten your right leg. Go back, go back, go back. Right hand down to the block. Good. Left hand over the top. A continuation of wave. And then reach the left hand back and look down. And reach the left hand over and look up. There's inhale. And then exhale, navel to spine, look down, firm your legs. From that base, the left hand effortless. And now stay right there, breathing. In and up the legs, out the hands. Use your mind. In and up the legs, out the hands, in and up the legs, out the hands, left hand down, left knee down, right hand to your right thigh, left hand up. Square the hips, square the chest. So wrap the left side of your body forward. The left toes down. The left ribs forward. Like your child's pose, keep wrapping that side forward. And the hand down. And step back, down dog. Feel the left hand, left hip, left side ribs. Turning your right heel in, your left foot up, warrior two with the block outside your left little toe. And notice as you come up, all my weight is in my front foot. No problem. That's why we straighten up. Bring it up and bring your weight into your right heel. Awesome. Keep that. Reach your right hand back, warrior two. So energetically, with my attention, I'm drawn backwards, which makes this very light bending. Bending the left knee. Right hand is your anchor. Drop it behind you and let the left hand float. Bend your left knee more. Square your hips. Wrap your right ribs forward. Firm your right hip. Lift your right thigh. Bend more, bend more, bend more. Springboard back. And open the left side. Take it with you. Left hand down. Right hand over the top. Good. Sweep back. Right hand to your hip. Look down. Inhale up through the legs. Right out the fingertips and exhale back down. Good. Take your time. Sweeping over, looking up. Sweeping your hand back, looking down. And you're cleaning the line from your right hip to your right heel. Right hand overhead, you'll pause, stay right there. Inhaling up through the body. Exhaling back down through the body. Beautiful, making space, making length. Good, good, good. Look down, right hand down, left hand to the back of your right thigh. Rise. So square the right ribs forward. Square the right ribs forward, the right hip forward. Start to look up. The right collarbone opens. The right side jaw opens. The point of your chin to rise, the back of your neck lengthens. And you fold to step back, noticing right hand, right hip, right heel. Nice. Good. Step your left foot up between your hands, pivot to the right side, walk your fingers to the center. Heels a little out, toes a little in, a little bit side to side, little bit side to side. Put your fingertips right under your shoulders and lengthen out through your spine. Bigger bend from side to side, explore. So you started out by lifting your hips and lengthening your spine away from your seat. Use your fingertips to draw your head away from your hips. And then use your heels to send your hips back away from your head. Now with that line, bend a little more. Use your feet. Use your feet. Now center. Hands to your hips. Rise up. Sweep wide. Good. Pause. Anchor in your heels. Bend your right knee. Take your left hand in front of your right foot. Turn your fingers towards your right toes. Revolve to look up. Stay a beat. See if you can turn your right palm to face the back of your mat. Tail back, head long. Right? Good. Navel turns to the right. That's exhale. Inhale, upright. Exhale, fold down the middle. Knees a little soft. Lengthen. Slide back up the middle. Hands wide. Bend your left knee. Spin your right fingers to point towards your left toes. Revolve. Turn your navel left. Bend your left knee as much as you need to. Tail back, crown long, just like you found its center. And then releasing, up wide. Hands down your legs, fold center. So we go, hands up and wide. Inhale, open, bend your right knee, left hand down, revolve. Inhale, center. Fold down the middle. Inhale, up, widen, bend your left knee, right hand down, revolve. Good, center. Down the center. Upright. Bend your right knee, left hand down. As you straighten your right leg, stand taller. Deliberate, fold down. Upright, widen, stronger. Left knee bends, hand down. Stand tall. Fold down the middle, we'll go one more set, just like that. Upright, more deliberate. Right knee bends, stay. Right hand overhead. Overhead. Yes. And then back to your hip, look down. Reach overhead, look up, see where you can go, tail back. And look down, hand back. Last time, right hand high. Reach overhead, look up. Where can you go? 3. Feel the left side spine. 2. Good. Right hand straight up, look down, stand tall, arms wide. Mighty. Fold down the middle. Beautiful. Upright. Left knee bends. Right fingers turn. Set it up. Left knee is bent. Left hand, take your time. Take it over, overhead. Palm towards the floor. And then reaching your left hand back, look down. You've made all these shapes. You're just assembling them. Inhaling overhead, exhaling hand down. Exactly the same sensation of clearing old stagnation deeper into the body. And then you'll pause with the left hand overhead and you'll find the breath into the spaces you've made. Turning the navel left, seat back, crown of your head long, toes long, body engaged, inviting, and reach up and stand tall. Here we go, unfold. The left side spine, right side spine, that's what we needed to be clear. That which joins the base and the crown, the spine, the sushumna, is so essential. Just find down dog, pivot to the floor, step back, walk your dog, wag your hips. Good. Good. As you look to your blanket, you're going to reach back, fold it. Don't fold it, just bring it forward. So knees down the same way that we built our pyramid last time. We put the forehead, the crown of the head comes onto the fold of the blanket and your hands are not on the blanket. That way you won't make, if you make a line, hand, head, hand, the likelihood of falling is much bigger. So fingertips point towards the fold of your blanket and prep by widening your elbows like a bird and wrap them in. Widen your elbows. This would mean collapse. Elbows wrap in, shoulders away from your head. So bring it into hands, knees, tuck your toes. Widen your elbows, wrap in, tuck your chin, wrap your belly into your body. If you don't put your head down, this is a great place to be. Collapse, and I want you to really turtle your neck into your shoulders so you know not that shape. Elbows in, press your thumbs down, round. Feel how strong and long your neck is, top of the head to the floor. So your head under the blanket, walk your knees in, walk your feet in, bring your elbows in, lift your knees, walk your feet in, elbows in. Perfect. So pressing your thumbs down, your elbows in, lift your right knee to your right, elbows stay 3. Elbows in, point your right toe, stay 2. Good, toe to the floor, sit down, knees down, hands down, kneel. If kneeling doesn't work for you right here, then just hands, knees. But what we want to do is compress the spine and then release. Exactly the same as rinsing the sponge. Exactly the same as turning into our inner organs. So we're compressing the spine, releasing it, and in this way we're flushing the tiny little pads between each bone, hands down. Elbows wide, and then elbows in. Elbows wide, turtle, pull your chin in, shorten your neck. And then wrapping your elbows in, tuck your chin. Crown of the head down, lift up. So you may work hands down, toes down, or left knee, left elbow. Stay, point your left toes and hug your elbows in. If you feel super advanced and this is silly and remedial, float your right foot 1 inch. 3. 2. Good. Elbows in, spine long, neck long, toes down, unfold. So hands to thighs or hands and knees. Pause and feel, start to notice. Notice the upward current you're generating. Notice the levity through the upper back, the neck, and the sensation of light rising. We'll do it one more time. Again, you don't need to lift your knees or your toes, but I will do full tripod. So knees to both elbows, feet together. If you're advanced, lift your knees off your elbows, up and down, touch the elbows 3 times. So lots of options. And sometimes when we think, oh, I'm really great at headstand, I don't need this kind of stuff, you'd be surprised. Elbows wrap in, right? Elbows go wide, collapse, look forward. I really want you to find this. This is what causes neck injury. Just know what it feels like. Wrap your elbows in, lengthen the back of your neck, navel into your body, crown of the head down, lift up. Walk your feet in, press your thumbs down, right knee, left knee, toes touch, hug your elbows in. You've built all of this. So pausing here with your feet together, or if you're excited about it, lift your knees an inch and bring them back. Lift your knees an inch, and every time you bring your knees down, bring them closer to your armpits. So when you're ready, knees to the floor, sitting back, uncoil. Hands to thighs, now notice. And rise, just follow it. Up, 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 up. Sensation of light through the brain, through the crown of the head. Bring your fingertip to where your hairline meets your forehead in the middle. And draw a line straight back to an equal point just beyond the curve of your skull. Okay? So back to the hairline and back to that point. Good, we're going to use that line. And now 2 fingers at the back point. Widen to make a circle and they come back to the front point. So where your hairline meets your forehead, now circle around to an equal point at the back. That circle, that line. So bring the front point down to the blanket or to the mat, your choice. Walk your knees back so that you are resting, like you never put weight on this point. This is not where you want a headstand. However, what I want you to do is be able to roll forward to find that back point. And roll back to the point where your forehead meets your hair. And roll back. Follow that line. Follow that line. Forward and back over the skull. Let it open the back of your neck. Let it tuck your chin into your chest. And let it move the blood through your scalp. Good. And we'll meet at the front point. And then go to the right and follow that circle to the back. And circle back up to the front. So it's this big circle around the circumference of your skull. And then reverse your direction. From the front point to the back and back to the front. A great circle. I did this in the very first yoga class I ever took, and it blew my mind. Now, find the very top of your head, find the very back edge of that circle, and zigzag back and forth, and bring it zigzagging to the front point, and then zigzag to the back point. If you ever have a tension headache, if you're ever stuck for a new idea, if you ever feel like you can't take any more of your toddler, go right here. Go right here, one more. Find the middle. Rest on the crown of your head. And now when you unfold, find kneeling or hands, knees, and come upright and notice and notice and notice. As though you were wearing a little cap of light. All the circulation through the scalp, freedom in the neck and the jaw. We'll just bring this with us. Slide your blanket back so that the fold faces towards your feet and then your feet go in towards the front. Building your shoulder stand, have your blocks on either side so that the tops of your shoulders are right at that fold. Option 1, you just lift your hips, put the block at its lowest setting on its belly, and lift your heels, resting your hands on your thighs. Here's your shoulder stand, super simple. Oh, that's pretty fantastic. So we've primed the body, we've opened the left and the right, the front and the back, and the crown. And watch what happens when you turn upside down now. So use the block or not, set it aside if you're not going there. Roll your hips up, catch them in your hands. Tuck a shoulder, tuck another. And hands on hips is step 1. Let your knees knock in, lengthen the back of your neck. Feel the inner organs release. Feel the calves. Move through your toes to free your legs. Feel your thighs drain. You can have micro movements, play with your legs to help them release. Can you bring your breath into your abdomen? Now that all your inner organs are resting on your diaphragm, when you take a deep breath, it rearranges them, it pushes into them, those spongy organs. If you like, lift your hips and walk your hands a little higher, lengthening the back of your neck, reaching into the balls of your feet. Without locking the legs are draining. And just bring your awareness into that little cap of light on your scalp. As though you could allow all the tension accumulated in your body to drain right out the top. Soften your legs, soften your abdomen, rise through the hips. Slow, steady breath, 3 more. Bring the base of your big toes together. Spread your toes wide, firm into the legs like you were rinsing the sponge. Hug your heels in, hug your knees in, hug your thighs in, and let your knees bend. Rinse out that sponge. Drop your knees towards your forehead, towards your shoulders. And with your hands, help your hips to roll towards the floor. If you're on the block, set the block aside. Bring your low back to the floor, bring your feet to the floor, turn your palms open. Pause a beat. Whole back spine open. Notice the sensation in the crown of the head and in the brain. With a block in either hand, lift your hips, put them together beneath your seat. They may be belly down. For today, I'm definitely keeping my blocks low. And I would suggest that you just keep them on their lowest setting Tuck a shoulder under, tuck another. Bring your upper arms close towards your body. Turn your palms open. Turn your heels wide, your toes in. Let your knees knock in. And as your knees fall in, there'll be a lift in your chest. Let your hips be heavy onto the block. Feel that crown of light that you've made. And imagine that on your inhalation, you would bring light from the crown down through the spine into the navel. And on the exhale, the light from the navel goes all directions through the body. Inhale from the crown to the navel. Exhale from the navel, light in all directions of the body. And with that light, a quality of ease. Work here, bring your right knee to your chest, right hand to the right thigh, behind the knee or over the top of the knee, depends on what you can get to. Take your left hand overhead. Slowly walk your left heel a little further away, a little further away, a little further away. So let the left side body open more fully. And now, the way we began, take your left hand to the right, take your left heel to the right, and bow the left side open. You can press your right knee into your hand. Once your body settles, the left side open. Inhaling from the crown of your head to the navel and exhaling from the navel in all parts of the body, just 3 breaths like this. Feel the attention spread through your body. Feel the breath open the left hip, left side pelvis and abdomen. Draw your right knee wide. Support it with your right hand. Put your right elbow under your knee. Bring it back into the center. 2 feet flat, hands down, palms open, heels wide, knees knock in. From the crown of the head, breathe to the navel. On the exhale, navel, effortless into the rest of the body. Use your mind. Left knee to chest, left hand to thigh or knee. Walk your right heel forward as you can, your right hand overhead. Moving your right hand to the left and your right heel to the left. Bow the right side open. Relaxing, letting your right side body be heavy. And in its heaviness, it's creating light in the front surface of the right ribs and the right thigh and the right hip. Inhaling from the crown to the navel, exhaling from the navel into the rest of the body. Letting the left knee fall wide to the left. Letting the left elbow support the left hand, left knee. So there's a widening through the pelvis. Your right hip falls to the floor. Your left knee falls wide to the left. From the widening of the pelvis all the way into your right side shoulder and heel. the center, feet flat, palms open, pausing. Notice any little tremor, any shake that surfaces, and let that happen. Let that rewiring take place. Last step, interlace your fingers, turn your palms away from your crown, firm your arms. Walk your heels forward as your low back allows, base of the big toes touch. Reach into the balls of your feet like you're on your tiptoes. Open the backs of your knees, open the arches of your feet. Open the elbows, open the navel, lengthen your navel. Widen your pelvis by trying to pull your heels wider on the floor. You are trying to draw your wrists apart, and your fingers are trying to draw your hands apart. You're reaching your wrists away, your shoulders away. To walk your feet in, lift your hips, take the blocks out, and lift up just enough to set your blocks as they were under your back. They're going to go in front of you, and the soles of your feet touch, and the heels rest together, and the knees are wide, and still our shoulders are on the blanket, and the back of your head is down. It's the slightest of inversion for the heart. And let your knees fall wide if you choose. Hands rest open or hands on thighs. Hands on thighs. Encourage your thighs to move away from your pelvis. Hands on thighs, lightly drawing the femur, the thigh bone, out of the hip socket. Feeling such space in the pelvis. The inner organs given a little more sensation of expansion. Noticing how all of this affects the brain, the sensation of the brain, the organ of the brain, the sensation of the light in the organ of the brain. That we are enhancing the function of seeing patterns, of remembering what's necessary, regulating all the systems of our body. Just turn your palms open. Scanning through the stillness of your body to notice, where am I holding? What wants to set down? Left shoulder, right hand, back of the neck. Feeling the body in its effortlessness, gently recalibrating, just putting things down internally. And as you do, the breath can become slightly fuller in the chest. And the exhalation slightly deeper in the belly. And with each exhale, we're just putting down whatever we've carried, whatever we've brought with us, we're putting it down, even momentarily. that it isn't a collapse. It's setting down so that we are actually far more vital and restored and free. It's not that we lie down because we're tired. We lie down to set down. And in so doing, we become more energetic, wrathful. So one option is, if this is the time you have, if done is done, then you would straighten your legs, widening your heels, the block's still between your legs, but your hands close. And this is your space of Shavasana, giving yourself as much time here as you can. But in particular, once you straighten your legs, waiting until the sensation of those wide knees leaves your inner thighs. Let that be your timer. When you're finished, you roll to your right and rise. To go on with me, bring your knees to your chest, slowly, slowly. Rinse out the low back, a little bit side to side, and you'll roll your way to sit in the middle of your blanket. Keep your blocks. And you'll put the soles of your feet exactly as they were when you were reclining on your blanket. Sorry, on your blocks. So now your heels are higher than your hip. And you find the floor. You got it. You got it. Walk your seat back. Give yourself a little more space. You're all tied up into your feet. There you go. Yeah, there's the floor. Got it? Okay, here's, ready? This is the varsity move. Circle your hips. Yeah. Great. Yeah, you can hold your ankles if you don't reach, or you can reach inside. Oh, but remember when we were in the dog with one heel in and trying to circle, my hips would not move. Okay, find that. So the temptation is to move our ribs and consider that a circle. Find your seat. Get down in there, all the way down. When you circled on the crown of your head, this is the corollary. This is the opposite of that circle you made through your head, is finding the circle in your pelvis. Craziness. And if we were super subtle, we would find the same sensation through the seat and through the crown. And reverse. And see where in your body does it get blocked. Are these two circles meeting from top to bottom? For me, like my left side ribs get really stuck and there's not a connection on the left side circle for me. And just sort of feeling in and exploring. And then walk your fingertips forward. Eventually the crown of your head is going to fit into that little bowl of your feet. It is. We'll just stay until you're there. No pulling, Lori. Put your fingers down. Doesn't. Yeah. You're going to fold. On your inhale, lift and lengthen. On your exhale, fold it down. Just drape. Right? 2 more. Lengthen. Right there. And then drape. Walking yourself up, come free of the blocks. And put your right leg out straight and your left heel tucks in. A. Toe turn so you can see. I'm still seated on my blanket. If you need to, fold your blanket in one fold. So you get a little more height, and that will help a lot. Left heel is in. Right heel is out. Fingertips wide. To lift again. Tail back. Crown long. To fold again. And just one more like that. Root your tail. Free your spine. Walk your left hand forward. Turn your navel right. And your left hip back. Settle your left thigh back and down. And your left rib forward and down. It's just like the child's pose that we began with.
wrapping the left rib down, wrapping the left hip back. Good. As you come up right straight in your left leg, or side by side, bend your right knee. So everything about your spine is turned a little to the right. Use that. Wrap your right knee in and your left arm around it. No, I did on purpose. So left leg is out. Yes, because now your seat is already turning. So keep sinking your left hip, just like you did. Now keep wrapping your right rib back. Yeah. So this is just like your child's pose. Wrap your left ribs towards your right thigh. And then sit to the center and notice seat to crown. That's what we're making, that little column of light. And bend your right knee, heel in. Just like our cobbler. Shin down, fingertips, folding on the exhale. Rising on the inhale. So that if you give yourself this little sort of a wave of dropping in and rising out, you can find adjustments all the way along. And then walk your right hand a step forward. And with the right hand, wrap your right ribs down toward the floor. Wrap your right hip back and down. And bring your breath into the space between the two. Really, when you're doing that, what you're doing is accessing the right side of your spine. And more subtle than that, the right side of the sushumna, that energetic column, base to crown. And feel how your navel turns left. Right ribs down, wrapping your navel left. So that when we come up right leg straightens, left knee bends. That turn is already begun wrapping around. Does that make sense, Stephanie? That's why we go this way. So sink your right thigh down and wrap your right ribs as though towards the floor. And feel how that's a full body turn and not just a tiny turn of the shoulders, but it's the right thigh down and the navel to the spine, the chin to the back shoulder, all the way to the top of the head. So that when you spin back into the center and you cross your legs and you sit up tall, that's what you've made. So now you would get your zafu and the long thing in front of it and really find what you've made. So I've been playing with bolsters and supports of all kinds. If you need to, you've got 2 blocks. If you need to, adjust your blanket so you can sit up tall. Awesome. Just settle into your seat. Feel the right hip drop. Feel the left hip drop. And as though you were turned upside down, feel the energy pour up into that little cap of light. Float your hands just an inch. Put your thumb and first fingers together, and then as you drop your hands, fall back out of your hands. And the heart falls up. So the hands on thighs, but you're falling away from your hands, falling into the seat as you fall up into your head. So some Kriya we do by moving the body, the outer limbs, and this is an inner Kriya. And you use, by moving the attention, we start with what we did in our bridge. From the top of your head, you're going to inhale light down to the navel, and on your exhale, send that light from the navel through the body. Let your breath be effortless and silent. And use it as a way of dispersing ease. As though you could disperse ease into every cell, through your shoulders, from the navel all the way out through the body, in and down to the navel, spreading effortlessness and light into your body. In and down to the navel, and then spread light through the body. Imagine that the body then begins to receive this light and to glow. And in its glow, it is glowing with health, glowing with possibility, glowing with care. Release that effort and just notice the body. Notice the breath. Be at ease. The second step is Nadi Shodhana, is the alternate nostril breath. So the right hand to rise, first fingers together, fold them to your palm. Turn your palm to your face, close the right side with the tip of your right thumb. So if you need to, take your thumb to the eye corner and slide down the right side of your nose, feel where the bone is. Breathe in through the left. Use the tip of your ring finger, close the left and breathe out the right. Breathe in the right. Tip of the thumb, close right, out left. In left. Close left, out right. In right. Close right, out left, your pace. Continue, 1.5 minutes. Working towards 4 counts in, 4 counts out, 1 more minute. The inhale, you fill your chest. The exhale, you empty your navel. breathe out the left. Put your right hand down and return to normal breathing, effortless. Just notice. Fall into the seat. Fall into the crown. And now we use the line that we created so clearly from the base of our seat, the base of the spine, base of the pelvis. So feel your seat, and then from that full surface area, gather more clearly in through the base of the pelvis, into the base of the spine. This is the home of all your potential and your power and your beauty. On your inhale, that bright, powerful light rises through the spine to the top of the head. And on your exhale, it slides back down to the base. That's it. And on the inhale, it just slides up to the crown of the head. And on the way down, it returns. Inhale up with the syllable hum in your mind. And exhaling out on the way down with sa in your mind. Hum sa. I am that. I am all. I am that. I am that which is everything. Falling up and falling down. Let your breath be more and more effortless. Just use it to ride that light up and down the spine. More and more ease. Until it's very, very smooth, and any sense of gaps or breaks have been repaired. Release any effort of the mind and the breath, and rest in what you've made. Inviting the light of the body to be with you. Inviting the balance of the left side, right side to be with you. Inviting a connection of all that is infinite about you to connect with all that is finite about you. We reside in a sensation of feeling whole, reassembled. Just for a minute more, just see if you can keep resting in it, falling down, falling up, falling in, effortless. any adjustment that you need. And in your setup, choosing what serves to help you reside in quiet. Deepening your breathing, softening the skin around your eyes and your lips, letting your breathing grow full and smooth in your chest. A hint of a smile the great good of this day invited and invited into your body. The entire span of human life exists within each one of us, going all the way back to the hands of the Creator. In our bodies, we carry the blood of our ancestors and the seeds of the future. We are the living conduit of all life. We are an extension of the great good in the world. Arms overhead, body long, breath full. Walk your feet in, curve to the right if you choose, or bend your knees, bringing your chest, your hands to your shins, a little side to side. However you bring breath back into the back of your body. To make your way to a simple seat, to sweep wide as you arrive, dropping down into the seat, falling up into the hands. The palms together, bringing it down. We'll go 3 times with our sound, our Om. A in the belly, U in the chest, M in the head. Inhale up. Thumbs to the forehead, center, shanti, shanti, perfect peace. Namaste. Happy Saturday. Use it well. If it's not Saturday, happy whatever day. It works for you. Play it over and over. Use it well. This is the physical aspect of Ajna requires the rest of our body to be open. If we are caught and lopsided, it's difficult to find the expanse of what's available. But if we can begin to create some integrity, if we can begin to root down, to rise up, we find this space. And then when you begin to use your attention, just as we use the proprioception to open and close one side and then the other, those great sweeping circles gave us more space. You use your mind similarly and clear the line of attention through your body. And then when you rest, your attention has this inner space that you've organized and offered. So different from when our mind is cluttered or caught. So there's outer work and inner work, and this is the work of Ajna. This use of our attention to go in different places to organize ourselves internally, because there's more. There's more to who we are. There's more ability to who we are. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Kundalini. We'll turn it into Kriya. We'll light it up. And then back on next Saturday, going into a full headstand. We'll see how we go. Until then.